Okay, we are going to learn really quick how to change a rod guide. As you can see, the insert is gone. This is one I just did. Looks good. Yes, we're doing it on my lawnmower. I don't have a table in here. This is all you're going to need. The emergency rod repair kit from Fuji. Comes with thread, epoxy, and some brushes. Some rod guides, obviously. Super glue, some tape, razor, scissors. You don't really need the scissors, you can just use the razor, but it helps. Some more thread, or you can just use this thread, it really doesn't matter. Some sandpaper, and a lighter. There's too many videos on YouTube that are half an hour long, when this video only needs to be a couple minutes. This is super easy, not rocket science. We're not doing brain surgery over here. All right, so first you're gonna need your lighter and your razor. You're gonna heat her up. I'm just gonna do one side first. Might catch on fire, no big deal.
Don't try this at home.
Well, this is the whole point, is to try it at home. Then you're gonna use your knife, razor, cut into it. Don't cut the rod, come on people. You're gonna get to the thread, cut all the thread off. This is how I do it. A little slicing motion. This might take a couple minutes, but this is how I do it. You can just do it the same way or figure out your own way. There's other guides on YouTube as well. No, it's not perfect, but it works. It gets efficient. It's just a fishing rod. It's like I said, you ain't doing brain surgery.
Rory!
You're trying to get the old epoxy off and the thread off. We'll come back after I get each side off. All right, so we got the guide off. It's a little rough looking. Sorry if the camera doesn't focus, but you get the point. Now, we're going to take some sandpaper, doesn't matter what grit, 10 grit, 3 million grit, sand all the excess off. You're just trying to get the excess epoxy off. It doesn't have to look perfect. You're not a professional, I'm not a professional. If I was a professional, I wouldn't have had to look on YouTube how to do this. Same with you. Just sand it up, clean it off. You might have to take your razor to it a little more, but once I sand her, we'll be back. All right, now we're gonna come and find a guide super close to this one. There's gonna be this one right here. I'll pull that one out. Here's your new guide. Be sure you don't put it upside down. Some are just the one that like just has this part. Some have the top part. It depends on which part of the rod you're doing. Gonna wanna get it as straight as possible, and you're going to take your super glue here. You're gonna probably want 2 dabs, about yay and yay. That was a little much, but the more the merrier, I always say. That looks straight to you?
Yeah.
Get it as straight as possible, just hold it there. I want your thread that came with your Fuji kit, or you can use like 20-pound braid. And your tape, doesn't matter what tape. Take a piece of tape and just tape it somewhere away. Start on the opposite side of where you put the tape for the ones that have 2 pieces. For the guide, start wrapping it at about 1/8 of an inch away from where the guide starts, roughly. So you start to get that one, then you just start twirling. You want the threads to be pretty much side by side, working its way to the guide. It doesn't have to be perfect. Try and get it as perfect as you can, but
A lawnmower as a table is not ideal.
yeah, even if you have a regular table, this might work better. If you have one of these type of guides that you're doing, that's only the one post, jump to the part of the video, I'll have it marked, where you use another piece of thread and pull a loop. But if you're doing this type, just keep on going to the end of that little post, whatever you want to call it, of the guide. Oh, that's probably good on that one. We're gonna move over and start at the top of this one. Keep going a couple threads off of the guide. Stop. We're gonna stop right there. Take another piece of thread, grab your scissors or a razor, whatever you want to use. Cut a piece about yay. Then put a loop in it, hold it there. Keep twirling. Do it so you're about 1/8 inch from the guide. My threads are getting a little spaced out here, but not a huge deal. Do like 5 or 6 turns and then stop. Take your scissors, cut your tag in, put your tag in through the loop, pull the 2 tag ends of the loop, pull it through, pulls the thread under itself, and you can cut the tag end here as close as you can get it. Try not to cut off your finger. Take your tape off, cut this tag end, and now onto the epoxy. If you got the rod repair kit, it comes with epoxy. Just get something like a plastic thing. I do a roughly full milliliter, should be plenty. Switch to the black one, roughly a millimeter. Take your brush and stir it on up. So get some on your brush here and just start putting it over the thread. There is a black epoxy, it probably looks better. I did purchase black epoxy, but I didn't realize the Fuji rod repair kit came with its own, so I'm just using what that came with. Just get it covered. You don't want any really fat spots. You don't want really thin spots. Just kind of do it to your own discretion. I mean, look at the other guides. It's a good idea to go off of. Well, this is much easier than purchasing a new rod. This is a St. Croix rod. I bought it used, but I'm sure they're not cheap, brand new. As you can see, I scratched the rod up a little bit with sandpaper. Not a big deal.
It's just a rod.
I understand you want to take care of your stuff, but if you want it to look brand new, then I recommend not using it. All right, that looks good enough for me. So once you do that, sit here and just twirl the rod for about 10 minutes. Should be good to go.